Hi everyone, it's Nikki here at Polkadoodles. Hello, and today I am going to show you a video on one of our new die sets. So today I've got for you the Scenic landscape dies, which is just fabulous. I've been really excited and desperate to get these in stock to show you. So this set actually includes 4 dies, and as you can see, these are actually going to create really great clouds and landscape effects. This is a really big set of dies. These are all 6 inches long, so great for your 6-inch cards. But obviously, you know, if you want to make anything bigger than that, you can, and you can trim them down. So as you can see, these are really deeply cut, so that you're going to get some great cuts out of here. And you've got all these fantastic little piercing dots here, which are going to be great to give you sort of some extra dimension. So if I just show you what the actual dies are like, so this is your 4 dies. So each die is separate, is different rather, and it will give you a different kind of curl, if you like, or a different cloud shape. So the idea was that they were originally clouds, but you can do a lot more with these. So to show you the best way to actually cut these, this is the way that I do it, because, you know, when you first get these, you kind of like look at them and think, right, okay, what do I do with it, and what's the best way to cut them? So the way that I do it is I actually kind of put them about, I basically put all 4 onto one sheet of paper, okay? So this is A4, which is a bit bigger than 8.5 by 11 if you're in the US, but it's only about ½ an inch difference. Now, if you're going to do it like this, instead of individually, what you need to do is just obviously tape them down, but make sure this bottom edge is all lined up, because then what you can do is once you've actually cut these through, you're still going to have them attached into the paper, so you can just trim them straight off in your guillotine, and it's just a much faster way of working. So just to show you what they're going to look like. So I have here, this is what you're going to end up with cut, okay? So here you can see I've kind of planned them out a bit differently from my A4 sheet here. So I've got different sections. Now you don't actually, where I've got this huge one here, you don't need that, which is what I was trying to show you before, because look, you can just layer these up. And realistically, when you're working on a 6 by 6 card, which most of us are going to do, you know, you're kind of going to be wanting them to fit on here. Well, you can only really get, you know, kind of, your overlaps are going to be probably around there. I've got a couple of these, I've cut a few different sets, so it's not, I've got them mixed up a little bit. But do you see what I mean? So you're kind of going to have them quite close, so you don't need to have all of that excess card beneath. It's just wasteful. So that's kind of how they're going to cut. If I hold that up, can you see how deep those holes actually are? Not great shot on the camera. Let me see if I can make it focus a little bit more. There you go. So can you see how deep those are? They're very, very particular, those holes, and you could actually put a needle through those and stitch them if you really wanted to. You could do your faux stitching as well, which would be great on those. So you can see here as well, I've actually just inked these edges using a distress ink. Up to you if you want to do that. You could use chalk, or pan pastel would work really well on those as well. So, you know, that's up to you if you want to do that. If I flip them around, this is the difference that you get, you know, if you kind of don't ink the edges. You're still going to get a lot of definition because you've got that stitching detail, and that was exactly why I put that in there, because I wanted you to actually have that that line, if you like. You needed a bit of definition. But it's up to you whether you like a really, really clean look, or whether you want to just kind of change it up a little bit. So just to kind of show you a couple of ideas quickly. So this is actually a 6 by 6 card. I've just done this on the other side of here. So as you can see, I've actually put mine off the edge. And I do that a lot with my makes anyway. I like doing that. So here I've just used 2. And then as you can see, I've actually cut this one out of green, and now instantly I've got foliage. So this can be hills, or it could be hedges. So, you know, kind of if you want it to look like a hedge, what you need to do is kind of trim that off there, and then that instantly, can you see how it pushes it back, pushes it right back into the background. So you need a horizon line to do that, okay? So you could just trim that piece off there. Entirely up to you. If you actually use some different coloured green, which I do have here, I've got a couple of different ones. Just bear with me. Oh, where's it all got? There you go. So I've got another one here, look, which I did in dark green. Now, if I was going to do that, what I would do is the dark green I would put behind, because when you do that, it actually, again, makes that recede into the background. If I can find a light green to add over the top. Do you see what I mean? So that now looks like it's kind of going off into the background. So, you know, depending on the colours you use and everything, and you can see this is how it's going to trim out. So you just need to put that through your paper trimmer. Now, another way of actually doing that with your foliage is I actually also did the same thing with the clouds, where I used a distress ink, and I actually have coloured these, and I really like this. It looks lovely. Look at that. It looks amazing. So that to me looks kind of like the top of the trees, because it was kind of accidental, really, because this was a brand new ink pad. This is the cracked pistachio distress oxide ink, and it was just because I was rushing, and I did this one first. It had more ink on it, and this one didn't. So I've just kind of like distressed it off, and it just, to me, that looks fantastic. I love it just like that, just a little bird on there or something, and it would be brilliant. So that's a couple of different ways of using it. Now, I want to just show you a slightly different way to colour them as well. So we've got here, sorry, I'm getting all my stuff confused. So this was the first one we looked at, where I actually inked the edges. Now look what happens if you actually colour this differently, and you, instead of inking the edge, you actually ink the shadow, if you like. So this is kind of like underneath, and I actually prefer this. I think this looks really nice, because it kind of really does give you, if I put those side by side, look, it gives you quite a bit of definition. So a completely different look again. And again, you know, if you wanted to, you could just kind of pull that in. And again, if you just using that one on there, that instantly kind of looks like trees in the background. So, you know, you really can get some gorgeous effects on here. Now, just one last thing I want to show you before I go is that when you're actually cutting, what you'll find is that you get loads and loads of waste pieces. So this is the opposite look. So that was the curly edge, and that's the waste from that. Now, don't throw these away, because these also can be used, which is fantastic. So I've got, again, my 6x6 here, and these are all waste pieces, and look what happens when you actually use these. So look, this now is your ocean pieces, which I just absolutely, I love this as much as I love the clouds. But look how fabulous that looks. So if you're doing anything that's got any kind of, excuse my shadow over the camera, it's a really dark day, it's snowing outside, and the light's got to be on. But look how fabulous that looks. And you could actually even, if you wanted to, if you put your clouds in there, you know, you could do that. And it does work. It kind of look, in fact, if you used kind of a grey blue, you know, like denim blue, for your clouds on that one, it would kind of make it look like it was a bit of a choppy sea and quite an overcast sky. So it'd look phenomenal. And then the other thing is, we also have a new dye which is called Fluffy Clouds, and that's this dye, and you actually get two pieces, so they actually work really well with this as well, with this set. So, you know, you can use your fluffy dyes, in the fluffy cloud dyes in there as well to make the whole thing. So perfect for scenes. So that's our Scenic Landscape die set. That's in the on the website right now to buy, and it's available at polkadoodles.co.uk. Okay, see you soon.